Welcome to another edition of the Sports War. And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report. I am your host, Brian Barnaby. And let's just say the boys are back in town.
She got away, never to say. She can't choke, she don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up, get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab shots on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes?
Hey, and we are back. Wow, feels like it's been a while since I said that.
Oh, we missed you, bud.
I am, of course, your host, Brian Barnaby, and we got Grasso. What's going on, man?
Barnes, it is so great to have you back.
Oh, yeah,
so
man.
Great.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, our super producer, Mike. Hello, worlds.
You got it. I didn't have to do it.
He goes away for a week and doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah, look at him.
And as we have been doing last couple episodes, we're actually going to start in the world of the National Basketball Association.
The Bulls got LeBron James at the buzzer. He banks in the three, and the Lakers win the game.
What's going on, Renee? We're back. So
we got some new soundboard stuff for you too, bud. Wait until you hear it.
Oh yeah,
Mike's still
ready
figuring
for
it
that.
I got it.
And Mike's probably still buzzing because the Knicks again last night, 102-98 over the Spurs, and my guy Alec Burks. 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 of 10 from 3. Randall has 25 points, almost a triple-double with 9 rebounds, 9 assists. And RJ has a good game, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. So obviously a big win for the Knicks, who are still alive for the 4 seed.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, honestly, it's dope. Regardless if they have the 6th or 4th, I think it's just sick that we're going to have basketball playoffs in New York for 2 teams. I mean, Grasso, can it get any better?
No, it can't. A playoff game in the Garden? Like, when was the last time?
What?
2013. But
Yeah.
when was the last time we seen that with a good team?
No, yeah.
This is really exciting news for the New York Knicks. There's that new soundboard he's been talking about.
Yeah,
I've got some bad stuff to, for when the Yankees come up.
Oh, my God.
I know, I'm sorry. They lost, though.
But on getting back to real stuff here. So, I mean, what did you take away from this? I mean, obviously, great win, especially, trailing by 17. I mean, you must have been pumped about that.
No, that honestly was maybe the biggest one because prior Knicks teams, they're not winning these games, right?
Right.
We know that you could take it to the bank. That's a loss. And maybe an even bigger deficit, especially Popovich-led teams. You've seen him blow out teams by 50 in the regular season. He never takes the pedal off. So he you love to see that. And honestly, I did think it was over because of Popovich. I did not think that Popovich would let those guys let it slip away. But the Knicks are just that kind of team. They embody New York City. That's why everybody loves them. Not Brooklyn. The beauty, the flash. No, we are grinding these games out like the Yankees. You gotta if you want to be a good team, you gotta grind the games out, right, Barnes?
Yep, and I'll save my comments for that for our next segment. But you are right there. I think it was impressive for the Knicks, and I think, of course, they're excited to be in the playoffs. The seeding, I mean, doesn't necessarily matter, but to have home court in the first round, I think is big because you just want this to go as far as possible. You want the story to be as great as possible. So that's going to help if you can get that 4 seed.
Yeah, and it stinks because the Knicks have been playing great basketball, but unfortunately, Atlanta and Miami is also playing great
Yeah, they
basketball. So all three of these teams just keep winning and winning, and so no one can make up any ground.
And the thing is, though, I mean, I honestly I want them to get the 4 seed, but at the same time, I mean, I really do want this Giannis versus the Knicks series. I mean, that is going to be
I want
great.
it too.
You know what's funny? You don't want it. Because then after they gentlemen sweep them. Yeah, I said it.
He said it.
Houdini.
That's a new one.
No, but I mean, honestly, you know how I am. If that does happen, I mean,
No, you do admit defeat. Yeah,
I will give it to him.
Yeah.
Honestly, I will. But I don't see that happening. And I think getting that 4 seed, I want to see him play Atlanta or Miami. I think that's a lot better matchup for them.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
I want to see them get
not Miami
Atlanta
though.
and
Not Miami.
Atlanta, obviously.
Miami's a tough
No,
team.
I think they could honestly sweep Atlanta.
Yeah,
I do too.
Me too.
Wouldn't be surprised.
They'll clamp up Trey, and that's it.
Yeah, I would not want to face Miami. They look good.
They look so good right now, Barnes. Have you seen them?
Yeah, no, I've seen them, but
Yeah, no,
I
happen.
also have seen some of the losses they've had this year. So I'm not
No.
completely sold on them.
We're not. Remember Barnes.
We're not talking about the past
Yes.
here. Talking about the future.
Right.
We're
And right
driving
now.
into the future.
Yes,
here.
Right.
Barnes.
Okay. All right.
Clearly, that
Uh,
vacay got to you, bud. You forgot about your own rules.
And then before we move on from this game too, it's crazy what's happened to the Spurs. I mean, all year they were a few over 500.
Yeah,
now they're 4 under, and it just they're gonna barely sneak in the play-in. I mean, and it just seems like it's gonna be a one and done. Like there's almost no point even going to the play-in.
I mean, I feel like this is where the Spurs were expected to be.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the roster besides DeRozan. They're all a bunch of young guys with really no experience. I mean, you got Rudy Gay coming off the bench, but I mean, he's towards the end of his career.
Yeah,
it's just one of those things. Yeah, the beginning of the season expectation wasn't much, but then once you get off to that start, then expectations change. So it's definitely disappointing.
I mean, it's kind of like the Knicks situation. Now
Exactly.
there's like a question coming up. If the Knicks don't win in the first round, is it a successful season? Like, who's coming up with that question? I mean, the Knicks.
I know.
The Knicks having a 500 record was a successful season.
I mean,
My mom
think,
is giving the heart emojis, guys. I mean, she loves you guys.
We love you too.
Barnes doesn't know how to make a heart with his hands. He said.
But no,
Tony's doing it too.
Honestly, I don't think there's any way that whatever happens, the playoffs with them takes away. But the only thing that would be a little, if they got swept, I think that would really kind of take a little bite out of.
I wish that
that's going on.
I wish that Pop. I know he would never, but I wish he did let this season go and he just got Cade Cunningham.
Right.
Yeah.
Like imagine Cade Cunningham in Pop's system.
Be like the next Tim Duncan.
But I almost
a guard for yeah.
But I almost wonder if Pop
guard.
is getting almost a little too like Belichick thinking
No.
whoever because I
don't
would
think
love to know his plan. I know he doesn't want to reveal it, but I just would love to know what the plan is.
I'm really curious to see how long he's going to keep going. I mean, Pop's like 80 years old at this point.
I'll check.
Yeah, seriously, look it up. I know
and
he's
he is like the general manager too, right?
But you know what? He's also
responsibilities. He's only 72,
and he's also locked in for the next Olympics. So he's here for at least a little bit longer.
But I think
I'd say 5 years.
I think he's going to try to make, if I had to guess, a big move in this offseason, whether it's moving up to the top of the draft or trading.
Yep, I agree.
He's not going to go forward with this being the base of the team.
No.
Yeah, and I could definitely see like a DeRozan. He's a restricted free agent.
Yes, he's gone.
He's got an option.
He's
you could do like a sign and trade kind of deal with him maybe.
But you guys think he's going to just opt in? Because isn't it like $27 million?
Well, I mean, he could, but he can also go out and probably get a 4-year deal still, DeRozan, I think. And that would be this is his last chance to do that.
What do you think the dollars would be for that, like per season?
If you can get DeMar DeRozan for 4 years, like 80 to 90 million, that'd be amazing. Like I would do that in a heartbeat if I was an organization. He's probably going to want more, probably closer to 120.
It depends on the organization too. Like the Knicks, I've heard rumors of people talking about that already. It's like, no, sorry, I don't want that.
So no matter what the contract, you just don't want.
I mean, it's just because like after watching him last night, I just don't want a mid-range shooting.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Playmaking shot creator.
The same position as RJ. So
Right, exactly. And he's 10 years older.
I mean, hopefully the Knicks are only coming up in that conversation because they have cap space.
Right, and they will, but I just no. But like you said, maybe where he'd be nice? Your Bucks.
He could be nice in the Bucks. I know Charlotte's another team that has a lot of cap space. I mean, they spent some money on Gordon Hayward.
That'd be nice too.
Middleton play the 3 full time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Middleton could play
Middleton's
1 through
6'8".
4.
But I don't know. The only thing though, I think the Bucks like their 3-point shooters though, so I don't even know if they would make that move. You know,
I don't know, but that'd be a nice little 3-headed monster
it
you
would
could
be
do.
good, yeah.
They'd be a great perimeter
But,
defending team.
I mean, obviously, too, DeRozan's really rehabbed his value. I mean, a lot. If you think about where you thought he was at the beginning of the year, just because of the big games, he's had this.
Yeah, we kind of thought he was on his way out, and he's had a really good season.
Yeah,
under the radar kind of.
And do you think, especially because he was in Toronto his whole career, just misses out on the championship, you think there's any way he would take like a 1-year deal to go to like the Lakers or something?
Why doesn't he just go back
into the conversation? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's like kind of has some beef with the organization, honestly.
No.
I don't think so. DeRozan's a pretty
Dude, he
pretty
said he was
chill
blindsided, and Nasir Ujiri said he was a Raptor for life.
Yo, did you hear what he said?
Toronto.
You hear what he said to him? He said, the only person we trade you for is Michael Jordan himself if you walk through that door. And then he traded him for Jor Pippen. So basically the same.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with him.
Yeah, I mean, averaging 21.5 points.
That's great.
The assist was
boards.
really
Assist
what
is
popped
great,
out
yeah.
because he's never been that high on the assist per game.
Correct.
But,
Yeah.
And then, another game from last night, very exciting. We had the Suns beat the Blazers 118-117. Chris Paul, another nice game, 26 points, 7 assists. Devin Booker hits the game-winning free throws with 2.4 seconds left. He only had 18 points. I think he was like 5 of 21 from the floor, 5 of 17. He didn't have a great game shooting, but he hits those in the clutch, and they were missing Ayton. He didn't play. He missed his first game of the season with a knee, and we had been talking about him. Bridges finally stepped up, 21 points, 11 rebounds. I think that was really the key in the game for the Suns.
Yeah, Bridges played great, kind of attacked Portland. When they go out there with Lillard, McCollum, and Norman Powell, you got 3 guys on the floor, 6'3".
Right.
And if you're a guy like Bridges at 6'7" or so on the wing, you got to take advantage of that. He played great last night. Another guy who gave him really good minutes off the bench was Torrey Craig on the second half, a couple threes. Played a lot of defense on Lillard in the fourth quarter. I know Lillard had 24 points in the fourth quarter, but sometimes, the best defense in the world can't stop him when he's on. But
and McCollum had a good game too.
Yeah, McCollum. This was honestly one of the best games of the season.
Right.
And it was never no team had a big lead. It was always kind of back and forth. Phoenix had the lead for most of this game. Lillard went off there in the fourth quarter, but Phoenix was able to kind of hold on to it. Chris Paul was amazing last night, especially in the second half. Cameron Payne hit a bunch of big shots for them. And then, Booker, I love how Phoenix, even though Booker, he was 5 of 17 in the game. So at the time, 4 of 16 or 5 of 17 went to the free throw line, and they still went to him for the last shot of the game with like 5 seconds. So
because we've seen him hit big shots before. I think that's
he's the guy in Phoenix to be the scorer. Right. So I'm happy they went with him, even though Chris Paul was having a good game. It might have been, the smarter decision to go with Paul, but Booker got it done. Norman Powell, you can't go for that steal. Just put your hand up, and he played good defense, but when you reach like that, that's the second time Booker's got game-winning free throws because defenders just got too reaching out for the ball.
And obviously for the Blazers, it's disappointing losing, but I honestly am impressed with both teams here because the Blazers have been hot, really playing like a lot better team than they were the first half of the season, I think. And then the Suns to be shorthanded. Ayton's been huge for them all season. And then not to have Cameron Johnson either to beat a hot Blazers team. I think this is the type of game that really prepares you for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think Phoenix has had a few tough games, leading up to the playoffs, which you don't like to have. You want to go into the playoffs with some momentum. So getting this win without Ayton, their rim protector, and without Cam Johnson, one of their best 3-point shooters.
And when allowing 41 to Lillard.
Yeah, seriously.
So, any thoughts here, Mike?
You guys do such a good job of just covering everything. I do think it was a bigger win than a worse loss for the Blazers. Right. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you said, it was a big win for them to do without Ayton, and it was a very hot Blazers team. And they were due for a loss. And I think it was if you want to look at it in another way for the Blazers, hey, you'd rather not go into I'd say the playoffs with a winning streak, to be honest. You want to get a little smacked up and stay focused, really kind of. And this is one of those games.
Yeah, I think like the Blazers have the perfect situation going into the playoffs. I think they're like 2 in their last 10. I want to say like that. That's you going into the playoffs with some confidence.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, I don't think anyone really wants to play Portland first round either.
No one wants to see Dame.
And they're going to have another tough game on Sunday, the season finale versus the Nuggets. And right now they're a half game behind Dallas for fifth.
So you know who's going to have a big game?
Where they finish.
Yeah.
I'm predicting it now.
Melo?
Houdini.
No. Nurkic.
Nurk.
Is he going to be nervous though?
No. I think he's gonna have a big game because he was, he was over there.
Ran out of Denver.
He ran out of Denver for that man.
What happened to Melo last night? Honestly, I was a little disappointed. 1-7. I think he only played like 21 minutes. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, they're saving him for the playoffs. All right,
okay.
Vintage Melo will be back.
Are you sure we're not talking about the Nets here?
Man.
Come on.
Barnes coming back with the shots, setting the tone.
And then looking ahead to tonight, I honestly have to say this might be the best game slate we've had all season. No, I'm just kidding. It's the worst we've ever seen. So
this might be the worst NBA Friday of all time.
Oh my God. And so to mix it up, usually we'll preview a couple games in depthly, but now we're just going to run down the games and just kind of see Mike and Grasso's thoughts here. So we'll start with the classic matchup of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Washington Wizards. Grasso, go.
Wizards.
Mike?
Wizards.
Nuggets versus the Detroit Pistons.
Give me Detroit.
Wow. I'm going Nuggets. I can't. I forgot Detroit was a team this season.
I know.
Do we have an upset brewing with the Magic in 76ers?
No, they just came off a tough loss. They're smacking them.
Any chance of the Thunder upsetting Jazz?
Absolutely not.
I hope so because I want Phoenix to get that number 1 seed, but no, not happening.
Is Luka in for a letdown against the Raptors?
Nope.
No.
Do the Rockets even play basketball anymore?
Yo, honestly, them in Detroit need to just go home.
And then we do have the Kings and the Grizzlies.
Oh my!
Might be the
God.
best matchup of the night.
Young talent, yeah, that's it.
Grizzlies.
I'll go Kings.
Yeah, I could see that. The Kings,
Luke Walton, baby.
They celebrate by missing the playoffs for the 15th straight year with a nice win.
Yeah.
Real quick, speaking of Waltons, if you guys miss Bill Walton on whatever Zubon, Jay Will, and what's his name's show in the morning, Bill Walton. I had a tweet at him. He's a legend. You're a legend. He's probably one of the funniest people ever. And he's like, Mohegan Sun, the woods of Connecticut. I was like, oh my God, I love this guy.
Oh,
yeah, Bill's great.
Yeah. No, he does a good job.
Luke, not so much.
And then the late game on ESPN, we have the Pelicans versus Warriors. Is everybody still out for the Pelicans? I mean, I know Zion's out. Ingram.
Do they even have a team? I don't even know if they have 5 healthy guys.
So you think this could be like a Curry 50 special?
Yes.
I think this could be a Curry takes the night off special.
Yeah. Why even play him? I mean,
there might be a lot of guys taking the night off.
So yeah, I mean, it'll be a crazy night.
Hello, Tiger Artwear in India.
I think more so, I mean, we might have an upset or two, but I mean, I think it's just going to be kind of help see the playoff picture play out a little more. I mean, that's all we're really going to get as far as that's concerned. But hey, we'll see what happens. So that'll do it for our NBA segment. We'll take a quick break and get Tony on for some baseball.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She got away. You know what I'm saying? She can't choke. She don't know what to do.
She's gotta go. Bye. I know that you love this flow. We just chillin', we just villains. We just chillin', we some villains.
I love it up, get the ammo and I stick it up. I grab a shot on the top of shots. I bust the clip and I let it dip. I make it poop, make it explode. Touch your toes, hit your nose. Can you touch your toes? Simon telling you what to do. Follow my commando, hit in a bando, trap in a bando, not like a Rambo. Rocky, Sylvester, so low. I'm telling you, I get this money even on my own. On his own, Apollo Creed.
Tony, dude,
He's
what's
back in the
going
building,
on?
up top
Let's go.
at
Friday
the stadium.
table.
At the stadium. We're pumped to be at the stadium.
Damn right.
And it's me, it's Tony, of course. It's the world of Major League Baseball.
Giving chase at Judge, and he dives into the stand.
DeGrom begins the season with an overpowering strikeout of Ronald Acuna.
The wall is gone! 3-run home run! What's going on here? I love it. He drives one to the moon. High, deep, and very gone.
And listen, we were talking about this before the show. Of course, I would come back after the Yankees have one of the worst games of the season.
You jinxed it, Barnes.
And with a feel good, too, because you won those first 2 games against the Rays, a team, they had struggled against. Great pitching, Chapman slamming the door at the end. But once again, the offense just a complete dud. But really what set the tone is Taillon giving up 2 runs in the first, 4 runs overall. Doesn't get through 5 again. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 9 Ks. But 9 Ks, what good are 9 Ks when your ERA is 5.40?
No good.
Especially in a year where strikeout records are being shattered.
Right.
So just specifically to start with Taillon, I mean, how much more of a leash can we go here?
I don't know, man. I'd give him 3 more starts, dude.
Oh, last time he said that, Kluber picked it up.
Yeah, dude.
But I know
pick
he's coming off injury, but it's just
Right.
I don't know. I almost would it be that crazy for them to say, "Oh, we're gonna skip a start"? Or I don't even think that would be that crazy.
I mean, what is his issue though? Is it just his location? Is he just not like?
It's putting together complete at bats. You know what I mean? Like he has
consistently
good
nicely
pitch
thrown
1,
balls.
good 2,
Right.
but then 3 and 4 sometimes are a disaster, and vice versa. Because striking out 9, of course, the stuff is there, but it's
Right.
just like if it's gonna be like this every time, you're telling me someone couldn't do better than a 5.40?
Right, and especially at this point where the Yankees are struggling with their bats, like
Yeah.
you really can't afford to have these bad nights on the mound.
But the only thought is I think he's lined up to pitch against Texas,
Okay.
so in Texas, though, so where the ball flies, but a team that, you feel
The
is
Rangers, yeah, exactly,
not
dude.
feared. So I guess let him go there. But
Right.
if it's a bad start, I think they're going to skip him or move him or do something if that ends up happening. So, we'll see what they do. And I don't know. I mean, I've always thought, do you try a bullpen role? But then you hate that feels like then you're done with the start, like
Right.
you've given up on that. I mean, you see any future for
Nice
him
to
in
be
the
with you,
pen
too.
possibly? Or
Taillon, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't see why not. I mean, like we said, he has good stuff. It's there. It's just
Yeah.
about throwing it consistently. And I mean, if he can string some good strikes together, he'd be a great addition to the bullpen, I would think.
yeah. So I think let's see what happens in the Texas start. But
Yeah.
if he gets hammered,
Yeah, it's no good.
you might need to send him to AAA.
Mhm.
You might need to skip a start, or you might have him be a long reliever. So we'll see what they do there. And like I said before, bats are struggling. They win this series 2-1, but they scored 5 runs. Kind of embarrassing, and especially a guy Rich Hill, and I know location, changing speeds, but he throws 90.
Dude, the guy is 41 years old.
Yeah.
Granted, he's obviously a veteran pitcher, but he's a soft throwing lefty. What good is a
guy-
right dominant lineup if
And-
you can't hit against a lefty?
Any team could have had him in the free agency too.
Yeah.
So it's not like he was sought after.
Right.
He goes 6 2/3, 3 hits, 3 walks, 9 Ks, and it's just like for the Yankees, I think they got 2 hits off of him. They scored a run in the 9th inning on a double play. I mean, it's just that's embarrassing, and it's a shame because there had been some good feel. You
Right.
grinded out these tough games against the Rays, against the Nationals, had good pitching performances. Chapman's looked lights out, but it's just like the hitting looks just so bad, and then they get a blow Gleyber's on the IL with COVID.
I know, and it's tough because I think 3 coaches and 4 other staff members also got it. I mean, are they not vaccinated?
They are.
They are, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, dude, it's weird. I mean, obviously that's got to be on everyone's mind as well too. So maybe they're a little distracted. But I mean, the batting, like you said, has just been terrible. I mean, granted, Stanton and Judge have put together a couple good games, but I mean, there's just so many other holes in the lineup.
Well, and I was saying this. I was talking to someone. What it is so Stanton, Judge, Urshela, and LeMahieu to an extent are putting together acceptable performances.
Right.
but you're getting nothing from anyone else,
Yeah.
and they're not going above and beyond, and that's what the difference is between this offense this year versus the offense last year.
What about Gardy, though? You love him.
Oh,
Speaking of which, so Gardy this year is sporting 182 batting average, no home runs with a 502 OPS. I'll ask you, Tony, time to cut him.
absolutely, dude. I mean, your whole lineup is struggling to get hits. He's one of the worst in it, dude. You got to cut him, bring someone else up, dude.
Yeah, and they have some young guys in the minors. And I just think, too, before we get to their other options, if Pujols is going to get released, there's no reason that Gardner should be untouchable.
Yeah, very true. That's actually a very fair point.
I mean, maybe, they don't want to end on a bad note. Then just do the right thing and retire and join the coaching staff. It's like you're not hitting. Like, it's just enough. Like, I don't need to see it. And it's just funny.
Barnes is tired of this shit,
but it's just funny how, like, certain people, like, defend him. So I'm listening on the way back from the airport last night. I'm listening to the radio broadcast. And John Sterling's talking about, oh, well, the next inning, it's nice because Gardner bats ninth. He's really a leadoff hitter. So then you have Gardner, LeMahieu, and Judge, and I think they all ended up striking out in a row. But he's like, Gardner, I mean, he's just a good hitter batting ninth. And I'm just like, have you watched
what are you
this
looking at,
season?
dude?
Last season, the season before that. So that's just insane. And it's like you want to respect him, Yankee his whole career, but it's time to go. And the reason why it's time to go is in the minors, you have exciting options here. Estevan Florial, a guy who's been in the system a while. I think he's still low 20s because, he signed with him when he was like 16, 17. He's had a great start to his year. And then Jason Dominguez, I think he's 19 years old, is supposed to be a 5-tool guy. And we're wasting our time with Gardner.
Like, who is he friends with? Honestly, like, who is he buddy with that they love him?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
In a season where runs are harder to come by than they've ever been, Hicks is on the IL. It just why? Like, is it really? Are we really going service time again?
I don't get it, dude.
And then you have a guy, Mike Ford. I think he's 4 for his last 45.
Oh yeah.
How is he on the roster?
I have no idea, dude. He's trash, bro. I mean, they're just not making adjustments at the plate. I mean, I don't get it, dude. Like, I mean, I think Boone said it that Hill was keeping them on their toes. Like, what?
But is it more complex than this? But I don't understand. A guy Hill who isn't even touching 90 most of the time. I don't want to hear about location. 90 is like batting practice for these guys. So you're telling me you couldn't just only swing at fastballs and torch them yesterday?
Right? Like, I don't get it at all, dude. And it's so funny because I mean, I hate like the Yankees post-game conferences because I feel like they just dodge questions left and right. Stanton is talking about how like the Yankees have kind of put together a few good strings of hits, and I'm like, dude, where's the evidence for that?
Yeah,
like I just don't. They're just very inconsistent. I mean, like I said, there's so many holes in that lineup. I mean, it's brutal, dude.
Yeah. So luckily, I mean, they're in a good spot. They're only, 2 games back at first, 3 games over 500. So they've recovered from this terrible start. But it just, offensively, it's disappointing. But you go to Baltimore tonight. You start a weekend 3-game series. That's always been a spot where they've hit well. And it's a shame that Glaber's out because this would have been a good spot for him to get going. But you do have Andujar getting some playing time. He hasn't got a hit yet, of course, but I just feel like if it's not now and if it's not in Texas, then when is it? So you would think, I mean, I want in these 3 games 15 runs. I mean, they scored 5 in Tampa for 3 games. Baltimore, I know Means is going to pitch over the weekend, but Jesus Christ. I mean,
he didn't do too well against the Mets the other day, dude. So
there's no reason they shouldn't score 15. And tonight, scored 10. I don't even think they've scored 10 all season.
They have not, dude. No, go ahead.
Yeah, and no, I mean, it's just frustrating. I mean, the one bright spot obviously has been the pitching, especially Corey Kluber. He's on the hill tonight versus Dean Creamer.
Who would have thought, huh?
Kluber's been lights out, so you'd expect him to give you another strong, deeper outing, like he's done recently. And this should be the spot. Frazier, LeMahieu, Voit, Andujar, all should just get going now.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Dean Creamer.
Dean Creamer should get creamed on the mound.
I mean, he should get hammered. Absolutely
hammered. That, dude.
So that's 7:05 on.
You know who they need? The Yankees.
Who?
George Costanza.
And then you look tomorrow's game, another 7:05. It's going to be Domingo Germán versus Jorge Lopez. So another situation you should be able to hit him.
Right.
I mean, let's go. Let's get off to a fast start. Let's get the good feelings of the team going. And then Sunday, you have Jordan Montgomery. Great, start against the Rays the other night. Going against John Means, recently had the no-hitter. But like you said, the Mets didn't have a problem with him. A sweep is ideal here, but you settle for 2 out of 3. But the bigger thing is we want to see, 15 runs is
for sure.
I think, a fair number.
Absolutely.
That shouldn't be unreachable.
And honestly, even if it isn't like reached, I think a sweep with the pitching they have coming up, dude. They can get those, low run games and still come out with a W.
Right, exactly. And then also, it's been nice to see. His average is still under 200, but Sanchez has, he homered over the weekend. He had 2 hits last night, so maybe he's starting to get going because you need help anywhere you can get.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So it'll just be interesting to see, if he picks it up. And I know everybody's very down on Andor because he just these opportunities last couple of years has done absolutely nothing. But I do have a feeling this is going to be, if he plays 2 out of these 3 games, that he might get some hits because it just, he's only played a couple games. You got to give him a shot.
True. Yeah, I guess the sample size is small, but
he just obviously hasn't looked.
He hasn't looked good at all.
And lastly, before we switch over here, really disappointed in LeMay. I don't. It just seems like every time he's up, it seems like he's very anxious, swinging at the first pitch,
right?
And he comes up with runners on, and it seems like he just always hits a grounder to short.
He chases balls out of the zone. It seems, like you said, he seems anxious behind the plate. I think he's just kind of chill, dude.
Yeah. So I'm expecting to turn around. Like we said, again, this is the place to do it.
Right.
So hopefully, I can come back here on Monday and not be tight. So let's see what happens. And we'll switch to the Mets here. Off yesterday, but they actually go to Tampa now. They're going to play the Rays tonight. David Peterson versus Tyler Glasnow, which on paper you'd say, great pitching matchup. We know what Glasnow's done. Peterson's been in the Cy Young conversation. What's happened to Peterson? 5.54 ERA now?
Yeah, man, it's tough. He's been struggling with location. His what was that, Mike?
Sorry, I had Grasso watch George teach the Yankees how to play baseball.
Oh, when he's smart during an episode, he's teaching Derek Jeter how to hit.
And Bernie Williams.
Yeah, dude. We won a World Series. Yeah, in six games.
Yeah.
Classic, dude.
Yeah, so that's what they need, bro. That's all you need, Barnes, and you guys will be back on track.
Yeah, dude. They need some Donnie Stevensons. They need, dude.
Donnie.
No, but dude, Peterson. We've seen him struggle. He definitely hasn't had a great start of the season. He's been kind of inconsistent, but I think one of the biggest downfalls for him so far this season is he's kind of lost his trust in his 4-seam fastball. That's a ball last year he threw almost 40% of the time, and this past month he only threw it 11 times.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So I think he has to just get back on his 4-seam. His last outing against the Phillies, they kind of rocked him on the 4-seam, and then he switched over to he has a low 90s sinker, which is really nice. But I think he needs to trust his 4-seam fastball again, mix up his pitches with the sinker. And this is, Tampa Bay, they've been struggling to get hits. If he keeps them guessing, he mixes up the pitches and the speeds. I think he should have a good outing.
It's funny with this. I think it's going to go completely one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either he's going to shut him out 6 scoreless. Right. Or Meadows is going to go deep, or Rosarena
off the bat.
He's going to be chased after 3 1/3.
And it's tough because especially with DeGrom out now, he's got to step up big,
right?
And it seems like we're going to be playing a bullpen game on Saturday, right? So we need a good outing for him. Save the bullpen, and to boot, we have Carrasco and Syndergaard knocking on the door right now to come back from injuries. So right now he seems like the odd man out in the rotation.
Right, and we thought he wouldn't be.
I know,
but he just hasn't performed, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Saturday, 110. Any rumor on who is going to actually get that start?
I would imagine it's Castro. That's what they've been doing when they start a bullpen pitcher. But they also brought up Reed Foley again.
Okay.
So I'd like to see him start.
Yeah, maybe they'll do that, though, just to give it a different feel. Mm-hmm. Whoever starts for them is going to oppose Shane McClanahan. Mm-hmm. Any insight on him? I actually am not.
It's funny. I've heard that name before. I think last season. I want to say he's relatively young.
Okay.
I think I want to say maybe last year or 2 years ago was his first year. He was 24.
Nasty stuff in debut 2 weeks ago. So. Did he even list his
week 7 of a waiver wire pickup, huh?
Ooh, okay. I might need to pick him up.
Yeah, dude.
So 3.75 ERA.
ERA.
All right. So
15 strikeouts.
what is it? Is it 20? Is he 23?
24, it said.
24.
Yeah,
Okay.
24.
So yeah, I mean, there's a young guy, but you'd expect the Mets to attack him early. Maybe Lindor has a really good series finally.
Lead off single. Maybe Alonso hits a 2-run homer.
Yeah,
hopefully. But yeah, I mean, their bats have been there. I mean, they just beat the Orioles 7-1, right? So I mean, yeah, it's just keep doing what they've been doing behind the plate. I mean, they haven't been chasing balls outside the zone. They've been waiting on their pitches, which is great because you've seen past weeks they were so nervous behind the plate. They were antsy. They were swinging at everything, and they've kind of dialed it in here. So you would expect against Tampa Bay, coming off a couple losses off the Yankees, a little banged up, maybe that they kind of take advantage of that.
Yeah. Any chance this weekend we get a walk-off fielder's choice?
I mean, dude, with the way things have been going, yeah, it seems like it.
But hey, we'll see what happens. And then the finale Sunday, Marcus Stroman, who's been hot recently. Rays haven't announced a starter. Probably a bullpen Yarborough, probably a bulk type of game.
Right.
So there's a game where you feel like you'd have an advantage the way Stroman's pitched.
Of course, dude. And the defense behind him has been so just lockdown D recently. I mean, Conforto is having a Golden Glove year in right field. Lindor obviously is looking great at shortstop. Even VR is looking good at third. I mean, with the way he pitches, you'd expect the defense behind him, works pretty well.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I mean, you would expect here, the way things have been going, both teams win their series. I mean, I think 2 out of 3 you'd be happy with.
Of 2 out of 3,
like the sweep, but after you won 6 in a row, I mean, you really expect to stretch it to 9. I mean, that's especially Glass now tonight. I think is probably going to be their toughest spot.
No, definitely. But if they win this one, obviously, I don't see why 10 in a row isn't going to be close in our sights here.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, it'll be an exciting weekend of baseball. Weather's really getting warm.
Exactly, dude.
So nice to see that, and I think we'll see the runs starting to pick up. I mean. Do you see though, just in general, this trend of just guys not scoring, hitting? Do you think we're going to see in the next couple of weeks this kind of pick up a little bit, or?
Honestly, I can't see it. I mean, it's this whole season, pitching has been dominant so far, and there really hasn't been much leeway. I feel. I mean, I feel like there's a no hitting bid almost every night. I get this notification that someone's in 7th inning, no hitter, and it's like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I think we're going to continue to see this season be dominated by pitchers.
Yeah, so hopefully, as long as I don't care about the rest of the league, but as long as the Yankees bats pick up, then we'll be okay. Because it's just nothing more frustrating than this is your job, to hit, to score, and you can't do it. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't know. It just I can't take it. So please score some runs, please. We will see what happens. And, Baltimore, a great park to go to a game. We've talked about that before. And I'm actually excited. I forgot to mention this. The return of Lookout Kenny Singleton, the Yankees broadcaster, who's supposed to be in his last season this year, will be on the call. It's actually his first series of the year. So he's one of my favorite, broadcasters. So looking forward to having him.
This is his last season, you said?
He said so. That's what he said. He said it 2 years ago, but then all the fans wanted him to come back. And then also he stepped in. He wasn't supposed to do a limited slate when Kay had the voice cord surgery a couple years ago. So who knows? He's just a classic guy. And, just one of those people, when he does a broadcast, he doesn't just say things like Michael Kay or Paul O'Neill. He gives you good content, good old baseball stories. So great guy, and looking forward to having him.
A real Gary Cohen, No.
Hey, I have to say, he is good. So, we'll see how the weekend plays out. And then, just a quick note here, before we close out, we haven't actually touched on golf in a while. One of my favorite sports, of course. And I just figured, we might as well touch base, being that we do have the second major of the year, the PGA Championship next week at Kiowa in South Carolina. And, that's, of course, when they had it back in 2012. We had Rory McIlroy win there, and he just won last week at the Wells Fargo at Quail Hollow, his first win in a year and a half. So he's one of the prime contenders. And, when we look at this week, it's the AT&T Byron Nelson at TPC Craig Ranch in Texas, hosting their first ever PGA Tour event. So we are in the second round, and Jordan Spieth, he's been of recent yesterday, star of the show. He shoots a 63, had a later tee time today with the early tee time, only 2 under. So he's at 11 under par, currently sitting in second. And we have KH Lee leading after 265. So obviously that's a great way to start a tournament. And also, tied for second, we do have Matt Kuchar and Joseph Bramlett at 11 under par. So, one of these kind of warm-up tournaments for a major, obviously those are going to be very important. But I just want to see if Spieth can get it done again. It's been a great story, him winning, at the Valero a couple of weeks ago after not winning for, I think it was 4 years. So just one of those comeback stories. It'd be just great. I just like seeing a guy have a run of dominance in a sport like golf because it's just so hard to do. So you just kind of look forward to stuff, and especially a comeback story when, he basically had the yips and all of a sudden he looks like he's the best player,
Dude, everyone loves a comeback story.
Yeah.
Everyone. Even Mike does.
Exactly. So
Mike doesn't love anything.
And then, also, I'm also, like we said, great weather this weekend. I'm looking forward to getting out on the course. And
hell yeah.
We've talked about this match play situation coming up. So looking forward to scheduling that with you fellas. And hey, maybe we'll get, close to 90 this weekend. We got a few rounds, so you never know.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
You're feeling it?
I'm feeling it, dude. I'm calling it. We'll recap. We got a few rounds, so who knows, but I'll give you guys the honest update on Monday. But other than that, before we close out here, any other closing words for you fellas?
I don't think so. Let's go New York sports, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So everyone, have a great weekend. Thank you for joining us. As always, keep commenting, liking, subscribing. We'll see you Monday.
Peace. Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.